Welcome to episode 8, I believe it is now, of Hotter Than Hell. As you can see, we are booking towards Hotter Than Hell. The last pay-per-view, from what I remember, was pretty bad, considering this could have been our best ever match. And unfortunately, it did finish in 81, so that's not great. Anyway, I just got to do a few things here as we begin. And we'll get into things. Now, obviously, it's probably going to be about a 3-hour stream. Looking forward to it, to an extent. Again, it's getting pretty late here. I do try and stream at a fairly late time, because I know a lot of my YouTube viewers, at least, they do indeed watch between the hours of about 11 p.m. my time, between 11 p.m. and, say, about 8 a.m. in the morning. That seems to be my, or at least for the YouTube channel, the general peak times anyway. Now, one thing that I do want to look at is obviously getting my stream up and running, which I think it is. It appears to be up and running now. Let me just double check over here. And I guess while I do that, let's advance. Now, there are a few things that we're going to do for this stream. The first of which is for us to actually implement a women's title. Now, the women, they did impress me in the last stream. Obviously, we had our first ever match with them on a pay-per-view, and it got a 67. I did just double check that before we started. And you know what? I think it's probably time for us to, I know it's obviously very early as well, but it's definitely time for us to at least make sure that we have a title belt and that we essentially have a champion in there as well. Anyway, we've got Wrestlers Court here for Ray Johnson, our referee. And then we also have an interesting action here. And that is Aaron Andrews passing on tips on psychology to his protege, Moriarty Schnell. Now, the other thing I want to do this stream is to try and get our two new stables, being Thunder from Down Under and Gotta Wear Shades. I want to try and get them onto a bit of a decent starting position for their stables. And what I mean by that is I want them both to gain a little bit of momentum going forward, at least for a little while. Okay. Alright, so first match. Now, first things first, I need to look at the storylines, because we're going to change a few things. Who won the number 1 contenders match? That's an interesting thing I need to check. So we had Sammy back, and then we also had Mighty Mo. Okay. Well, seeing as that is the case, I think Mighty Mo and Sammy back can be our main event for this first show. Now, again, it is, it's face versus face. But at the same time, both those guys kind of deserve to fight it out for the number 1 contendership. So, Sammy back. And then we're going to also have, where is he? Mr. Mighty Mo. Now, Mighty Mo's really improved. And as you can see, popularity in the Mid-South up to a 79. So I'm kind of expecting good things from Mighty Mo. And, we're going to reward him for his really, he's really improved. So we're going to improve. We're going to, getting my words mistaken here. We're going to promote him up to a proper main event level, getting a title chance. Due to his improvement. That's what I'm trying to say. Alright. And again, I really need to sort out Parker Terry's contract. That really bad referee that we got. And we need to essentially make him pay-per-view only. So I never have to see his name appear again for one of our TV shows. Now, what's next? So, Just want to go over this again. Obviously, we had the tag title match. So currently, the New Wave have beaten the Behemoths twice. So what we're gonna do is, well, we essentially need new challenges, is what we're gonna do. So in regards to that storyline, we did actually end it, so that's good. But what we need to do is have, I guess, a new storyline. I guess we'll call it One Last Run. And, yeah, it's going to be one last run for the New Wave. So, Guide and Scout. This probably will... I mean, I don't really know what's going to happen. But basically, this probably will be their last title run. So, I'll start this storyline here, and then I think we'll add exactly who we want to be in it. And I think we're going to go with the Elite first of all. So get the Elite out of there, and then we'll put them into this storyline. So we need Eddie, and then we also need Nate. I mean, two fairly old teams battling it out. Now, in regards to, I guess, them becoming #1 contenders, we're just going to do something pretty easy, pretty non-impressive, I guess would be the way to say it. And we're just going to have the Elite taking on Benny and the Fox, with the Elite winning and, you know, thus solidifying themselves as #1 contenders. Okay. #1 contenders match. Up next, let's just go straight into a title match for Ed Stone. Of course, he is the television champion, so realistically, he should be defending his title on TV. It is actually the whole premise behind the title, that it's not defended on pay-per-views. So with that said, we need a heel. We need a heel. And I guess Primetime Jack Pride would actually be a pretty good option. And again, like I did say, that I wanted to elevate, and losing a title match against Ed Stone would actually be a pretty good way to improve Jack Pride. Okay. Just want to double check that he can actually call a match. He can't, okay. He really does need a lot more work. In my head, I just really want to push those guys, being Gotta Wear Shades, one of our newest stables, so but I just keep it in the back of my mind that they're not actually that good. They're definitely lacking in a few areas. Either way, doesn't really matter too much. Now, the next thing we're going to do is I want to have the American Cobras get a victory over... I mean, we don't want to really use any jobbers. Who have we got? I also don't really want to ruin anyone else's popularity that I kind of like. So let's go with Jeremy Courtney and Nick Booth, maybe? Yeah. I like this match. And then we'll give Storm Spillane the victory. It might be able to be... They might actually be able to call it. Never mind. 55 psychology for Courtney. That's fine. Alright. What else have I got to do? The women. We need to find something for our women to do. Now, realistically... what do we want to do? We want Alina America. She needs a match, because she wasn't actually featured. And, of course, she's kind of our best face. Like, not best face, but she probably has the most potential out of anyone we have on the roster, if we're being honest. So realistically, we want her to take on a heel. And I actually kind of like Black Diamond, so I feel like that'd be a pretty good match. Let's give him 12 minutes. We'll give him a decent amount of time, even though the match is probably not going to be very good. Anyway, we're going to script it because I think Black Diamond is not... Yeah, she doesn't... She's pretty bad. Pretty bad. But she's only 21, so we can definitely improve her. And she does have really good microphone ability, so her entertainment skills are probably going to carry her through for quite some time. Alright, so there's a women's match. We need a little bit more. We need at least one more match, I think, before we start running some angles. So with that said, let's go with an interesting angle. Let's have Aaron Andrews and Brandon James teaming up to take on... I was going to do Greg Gage, but I feel like that might not be very beneficial. Also, Aaron Andrews needs to be there. I guess they could take on Rich and Famous. Yeah, I kind of like that. I kind of like that. And I guess we'll give Aaron Andrews the victory. Kind of needs it after losing at Summer Showdown. Can we... I think we can call with these guys. They are really good. Yeah, 78 psychology there for Jackpot. And we've got 71 there for Jake Idol. So, yeah, it can definitely be called. And I guess we'll make it decisive as well for Aaron Andrews. Now, we do need a storytelling match and a wild brawl. So, I guess we'll make this one the wild brawl because all the guys in the match can probably handle that. And then I guess our storytelling match would probably be the tag match with our new #1 contenders being solidified. Let's also make this a tainted win instead of decisive. I just kind of want the Elite to cheat their way to victory. Okay. Well, with that said... Let's book our angles. Now, I think actually a wild brawl needs to be higher up, doesn't it? From what I can remember, I'm pretty sure wild brawl needs a pretty decent crowd. Alright. Angles. Let's go Mighty Mo. Because obviously he's gonna win and become the new #1 contender for the world title, so we'll give him a nice angle after the show. And then let's go with a semi-back angle before the show. So we'll give that a solid 8 minutes there as well. So in theory, they should be two really good angles. What else do we need? Let's go with Ed Stone. And I guess we'll give him 8 minutes as well. He is our mid-card champion, so it does kind of work. We've got, I think, enough time for one more angle. Possibly two, depending on what we want to do. I could maybe give an angle to Alina America. Maybe. Let's give her an angle. We'll give her 6 minutes. I do want to script it though, and I'll give it to Oxford because I want it to be as good as it can possibly be. And then I might actually reduce a little bit of time just so we can get one more angle in. So let's take a minute off of this match here as well. Okay, so we can get one more 6-minute angle in. So with that said, I think what I want to do is have... Actually, this angle here, let's have it between J Cord and Mighty Mo. I think that'd be more beneficial. There we go. And of course, we'll add Mighty Mo into the world title storyline as well. I just think that'd be a little bit more beneficial, and obviously getting J Cord onto the actual show It's kind of what we want to do at the moment. Alright, so with that, who are we kind of missing? Let's adjust the storylines again. Alright, so Mighty Mo can be taken out. We then need to take Aaron Andrews out of this one. Should we take him out? Let's actually leave him in. Let's leave him in and add Mighty Mo in. Alright. There's Mighty Mo. We also need to bring someone up into this #1 contender storyline, which will be Greg Gage. But they're going to have one more match together. I think that's what I planned. Yeah. They're going to have one more match together at the next pay-per-view. And yeah, so with that said, let's actually go with a Greg Gage angle onto Brandon James. And I guess he can be on screen, but just not rated. So we'll give it 6 minutes, and then again, we'll have that advance. The rise and rise of Greg Gage. So there we go. And that'll go, I guess, before his match. Kind of makes sense. Yeah, perfect. Alright, let's do a little bit of pre-show work. So we want our boys Moriarty Schnell and Willie LaRue. We want them to take on... let's have them take on Divine Fortune. Again, we do need to start pushing these guys. I'm thinking... I'm not sure what the best way to actually push them would be. Because obviously they still need a lot of work. But if I can get their popularity up to a decent level, then they should be able to come up to the main show and actually do some work. And potentially get some wins over some fairly credible people. I think I want them to kind of win every 6-man tag that they're actually involved in. Just to sort of assert the dominance of the stable. Anyway, let's do another pre-show match. And we're going to use our other stable. And that is, of course, Nicky Gilbert, Ty Pomero, and where is he? Will Beaumont. So there we go. And that is Thunder Down Under. And they're going to take on Damien Dastardly, Ernest Youngman, and somebody else that isn't really too important. Maybe Roderick Remus? I guess Chris Flynn, now that I'm just looking at his profile. So that'll go on the pre-show. We'll give the victory to Nicky Gilbert. It doesn't really matter who loses that one, to be honest. So yeah. Slight Cherry, hello. Nice to see you in the chat. And again, we're probably going to need to script this one, just for the fact that I'm pretty sure both these guys, yeah, they're a little bit low on the psychology side. So Ty Pomero, yeah, they're both exactly the same, both 53 psychology. Alright, so there's our 2 pre-show matches. Let's do a quick save and let's run the show. Alright, so we start off with a 56, which is actually pretty good. Willie LaRue up to a 41 in-ring performance. That's pretty surprising. And we have Divine Fortune unfortunately defeating Moriarty Schnell and Willie LaRue in just under 12 minutes, with Chance Fortune pinning Moriarty with a stroke of luck. It was a good match though, 56. Like, they can definitely be carried to a match, which I feel like is kind of the most important thing. Alright, we then go into a 52, so it was actually worse than the last match, which is interesting. But we do have Thunder from Down Under being Nicky Gilbert, Will Beaumont, and Ty Pomero defeating Damien Dastardly, Ernest Youngman, and Chris Flynn in 11:42, with Nicky Gilbert pinning Damien Dastardly with a fisherman suplex. And Ernest, yeah, head and shoulders above everybody else in the match. And then Will Beaumont, unfortunately, being really off his game, despite him being the future of our company. Okay. Got Sabotage in the chat. Do I have Joffy Lane, originally from FCW? No, I don't have Joffy Lane. Would be an interesting guy to pick up, though. Yeah, one hell of a babyface. Have you seen Will Beaumont, though? Will Beaumont is probably the best young potential figurehead in the game, in my opinion. And he's also Australian, so he looks really good. I'll show you his profile once we finish the show. Alright, so we then kick the show off with Alina America making her debut. Of course, she's going to have the second ever women's match in TCW. Well, for our series at least. And she gets a 60 for a promo. It was only 6 minutes long as well, so she's definitely going to be the baby face of our, like the lead baby face of our division in the future, in the near future. Her match does pretty bad. I thought it was going to do bad. Obviously, the lack of popularity is going to be a massive thing. But we do get a 31, where we have Alina America defeating Black Diamond in 12.5 minutes by pinfall with a Southern Lights bomb. We've got Black Diamond debuting a superior athlete gimmick, getting an initial rating of very good. So that's pretty good. At least she's got a good gimmick going forward, because she also needs a lot of work. Alina America seemed off her game. So obviously that's it's not too beneficial, but yeah. Obviously, we've got some girls, some young talent that needs a lot of work, both in the men and the women's categories. So moving on to another pretty bad match. I thought this one was going to do badly. Again, kind of just two not popular teams. One's not even a team, but anyway. So we get a 39, where we have the American Cobras defeating Jeremy Courtney and Nick Booth in 9:49, when Storm Spillane submitted Jeremy with a kneeling Boston Crab. There we go. Interesting that Jeremy Courtney and Nick Booth actually have great chemistry, so I guess they're going to be a tag team now. Yeah, that's a really interesting one. Anyway, I guess a new team incoming. Alright, so now we kind of actually kick the show off here. So we get into an 81 rated angle. We have Greg Gage, and he's confronting... Well, Brandon James is actually in the ring getting ready for his match. And Greg Gage comes out, cuts a promo, and essentially says that he's not done yet. He wants to really inflict some serious pain and essentially be the reason for Brandon James' retirement in the near future. And of course, he did get a victory over him at the last pay-per-view. And just Greg Gage being a real dick. They actually have some simmering tension between them as well outside the ring. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. We then go into Brandon James's match where he tags with Aaron Andrews, getting a 68. And we have Aaron Andrews and Brandon James defeating Rich and Famous in just under 12 minutes. And Aaron Andrews pinned Jake Idol with a flying body press. And as you'd expect, Aaron Andrews carrying the match. I think Brandon James is 45 years old, if I'm not mistaken. He might be 46 now, actually. But I brought him in on a 1-year contract. Essentially just to put Greg Gage and Killer Shark over. And he's kind of doing that at the moment. So Greg's up to about 72 popularity. It's going pretty well. Aussie Donkey, good to see you in the chat, man. Coming in with the meow. Anyway, moving on to a 94 rated angle from Ed Stone, our current television champion. Wasn't really expecting that one, to be honest. I thought it'd be good, don't get me wrong. But he's probably gearing up to possibly be pushed up the card as well. Which is interesting, because I kind of had other plans. Interesting. Alright, so he's taken on Primetime Jack Pride, getting a 61, and we have Ed Stone defeating Primetime Jack Pride in just under 11 minutes by pinfall with a party's over. And of course, Ed Stone making defense number 7 of his TCW television title. And yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a match for Jack Pride to get some exposure, I guess, would be the right term for it. Hopefully it will actually increase his popularity a little bit, because he is going to be the leader of our Gotta Wear Shades stable, along with Moriarty Schnell and Willie LaRue that we stole from SWF. Alright, so we then move into a number 1 contenders match for the tag titles, getting a 62 where we have the Elite defeating Benny and the Fox in 12:04 when Nate Johnson pinned Benny Benson, illegally using the ropes for leverage. Yeah, just a good match, and of course that's going to set up our tag team title match at the pay-per-view. And we're going to have the New Wave take on the Elite. Alright, we then go into a 100 rated angle for our, well, it's essentially our pre-main event angle with Sammy back, of course off script. Sammy does good things. I'm pretty sure he's also in Time Decline. But, you know, he's still really performing for us, which is a pretty important thing. And of course we have guys seem hella OP rating-wise. Yeah, I don't know why that is. I think it's just the angles. Like, I'm giving them 8 minutes. Also, of course, using the best road agent possible. So, I mean, they also have really good popularity as well. Yeah. Anyway, I'm hoping this main event will be pretty good, because we do have face versus face. Okay, it's not great, but it's what we kind of just need at the moment. So we get an 81 for the main event. It is face versus face, so it's going to be penalized. And we do have Mighty Mo defeating Sammy back in just under 20 minutes by pinfall with a plunging spinebuster. And we have Mighty Mo making himself the number 1 contender for the World Heavyweight title. And then we go into a 97 rated angle to finish off the show, where we have the current world champion Jay Cord coming down to the ring and having a bit of an interesting conversation, to say the least, with Mighty Mo. Essentially just saying that Jay Cord wasn't expecting Mo to get the victory. And he already essentially had his sights set on defending the title to the veteran in Sammy Back. And Jay Cord says he's pleasantly surprised. But obviously, Mighty Mo doesn't have enough in him to actually beat him and take his world title. So yeah. Okay. So we get an 80 overall for the overall show rating. Yeah, I mean, as you can see, the show didn't result in any popularity changes. Using any mods? No mods, just the default, everything default. Yeah, the 80 rating for the show. Obviously, our current popularity across America is 80. So, yeah, we're not going to be gaining any popularity. I think we're actually up to about 79 or 80 in Canada as well. So, until we get that Mexico television deal, we're not going to be gaining any popularity unless we do from our... Ooh. This is perfect. Zoe Amis and Faith McGee. Oh, that's perfect. All right, we've got Slight Cherry coming in with a follow. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So yeah, both these women. I mean, I'm assuming Faith has, yeah, relatively good popularity. Which is kind of what the only real thing we're kind of lacking at the moment. And then we have Zoe Amis as well, who is a bit of a badass. Yeah. I feel weird that she's a comedy match worker. I guess, yeah, I mean, her previous gimmick was Agent 69, so... You don't remember playing the game non-modded? It's pretty much the only way that I really play the game. So, you know, it's been a long time since I've done a real-world mod. I am going to get back into it soon with like a historical real-world mod, but the database just hasn't been created yet, so... Just kind of waiting for that one to come out and continuing my Black Canvas Grappling series on YouTube. Yellow Rose. Hey man, it's Bronx Prince. Oh, nice man. I'm glad to see you finally made it to a stream. course, you're always watching the VODs back on YouTube. All right, so I think we're gonna try at least go in for both these girls. I think they're gonna be pretty beneficial, at least if we can get one of them. Just the popularity that they're going to have. Now the real thing is what are the counter offers going to be, because it's going to be difficult to say the least to even get them, and I really don't want to be paying too much money. Yeah, the default Cornell-verse. Yeah, I mean, I love the Cornell-verse. It's easily my favorite thing to play, and it has been for a long time. Okay, this one's going to be more difficult because she doesn't really have a lot of popularity in America. It's all in Canada, so, well, majority in Canada. So, I think we're going to have to at least match their offer, if not better it. So let's go maybe 12,800 for a 3-year deal. We'll try this. I mean, they're giving 20%. I guess we'll match the 20% as well per event. Alright, that looks pretty good. She is very talented. I'd rather get Zoe over Faith, even though Faith has a lot more popularity. And yeah, our viewing figures, 3.93 for the TV rating, just under 3 million viewers. Nice. Been trying to start a company in India, but it's like playing on hard mode. Yeah. Like, honestly, when the game first came out, I was really thinking about doing something in India because it appeals to me, and I'm sure it would appeal to a lot of other people. But when I kind of looked into things, and when the company's open, and the amount of workers that are actually in the game, it kind of put me off. I'm not going to lie. It definitely put me off. Anyway, and of course, the lack of TV deals as well. So you're essentially, if you can't get onto one of the, like, big streaming platforms, like India was poorly done. I feel like they should have at least had 2 companies already pre-made with like a really young sort of wrestling industry, like young workers, maybe like 1 star here and there, maybe Kashmir Singh, working for one company or owning one company, which I think he does, or he at least owns the dojo or something like that. Yeah, it was a long time since I looked at it. It was pretty much when the beta was out. Anyway, for you guys that haven't seen, we have created these 2 new stables. They were made in the last live stream. So we got Gotta Wear Shades, which is Primetime Jack Pride being the leader, and then our boys that we stole from SWF Developmental, Moriarty Schnell and Willie LaRue. They're all really good. I really like these guys. Let me just show you their star quality. We've got 84 star quality, 81 charisma for Moriarty. We've then got 70 star quality, 82 charisma there for Willie. He's kind of the better wrestler of the guys in the game. In the stable, sorry. And then we have Primetime Jack Pride, who starts off unemployed. And I really didn't kind of expect to see him. It was just like a really random thing. And yeah, he needs a lot of work. He really does need a lot of work for his psychology. But he's also got 83 star quality, 72 charisma. And then we also have Thunder from Down Under. Obviously, I'm Australian. I wanted to have an Australian stable. And we picked up some pretty good additions to this. So we've got Nicky Gilbert here, 31-year-old. He's the senior of our guys. 92 star quality. And he's very, very solid pretty much everywhere. He can cut a mean promo. He just needs popularity. And we're going to try and start to push him. I did kind of think about getting him involved with the television title. So that's probably what we'll do with him over the next sort of 2 months, 3 months maybe. Up next, we've got Will Beaumont. This is the guy I was talking about before. And if you haven't signed him, I suggest you have a conversation with him. And you essentially ask him to come and work wherever your company is. Because as you can see, 100 star quality, 97 sex appeal, and 91 charisma. Not to mention, he's also got 82 stamina, so he can go pretty long. Also, amazing babyface, obviously better as babyface. So he's kind of the best figurehead I think you can find for a 21-year-old. Yeah, he starts off on Raw with a handshake deal. So if you're a medium-sized company, you can sign him straight away to a exclusive written contract. And then up next, we've also got Ty the Innovator. His real name, Ty Pomero, which is what we're going to go with. He's also pretty good, but I kind of just wanted to get him in to be like the tag team partner for Will Beaumont, who is currently the heir to the leadership. So, as you can see, somewhere down the line, Gilbert's going to be replaced as leader, and Beaumont is going to be hopefully our figurehead as well. Anyway, trying to get you guys up to scratch with what's sort of been happening, if you haven't been watching or checking out the videos over on the YouTube channel as well. Because I do actually upload all the live streams. And I have to say that the whole series as a whole, the whole live stream, I guess the save, I should say, has definitely exceeded my expectations. You know, we're up to like an international, if we're going by old terms, for an international size company, which really happened quite quickly. It was very strange. Interesting dojo pickup there by SWF. Alright, what have we got? Alright, so we're re-signing Eddie, and then of course we've got these two contracts here. Oh, okay. Seth Whitehead's contract's running out as well. How is Seth doing? I mean, he's really just not doing too much, is he? He's currently down in our developmental, which is Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. I think it might be time to actually bring him up. Let's go for an 8-year contract. We'll see how much it's going to cost us. How's having a dojo like? It's okay. I haven't really delved into it too much, but obviously you can upgrade your dojo and stuff like that. So you get more graduates at any specific time. So once we actually get into it a little bit more, I think it'll be pretty good. Alright, so let's see how much he wants. He wants 15,000. I can't really justify giving him 15,000. Alright, he wants 6,000 for 3 years. We'll give him that. I don't really see Seth being a massive star for us any time in the near future, to be honest. Alright, so we've got Zoe Amis updated deal. Alright, so they're going for just under 16,000. Let's try and give her a 5-year contract, and we'll give her 16,500. Now, I know that seems relatively expensive, but at the same time, a lot of our other women are kind of on the same sort of money. So I really don't care about offering that much to her. She is so talented. And she would probably be, I don't know, one of our future champions relatively quickly. Alright. One thing I forgot to do was the contract change for our referee. No, it doesn't really matter too much. Just got to be careful that he doesn't actually... Alright, so there's Seth. And we are still waiting. I'm guessing they probably changed another... I mean, that's fine. I didn't really care about Faith too much. I'm just worried about getting in Zoe Amis, if I'm honest. feel like Zoe Amis versus Danielle Sweetheart would be a pretty good match. Okay, there we go. I'm pretty happy with that. That is what we're talking about. Zoe Amis coming in. And I think I want to make her a heel. Do I want to make her a heel? Hold on. Let me go back for a second. Let me actually see what our roster is looking like. Alright, so... Alright, so Tiffany's currently heel. I kind of wanted someone to go against Tiffany. Do I want to make her face? We already have Alina who's face and is actually relatively getting over now after that last show, so let's make her a heel. Let's make her a heel. Only because we have Alina and then we also have Danielle Sweetheart, so alright. So we have to wait 23 days anyway for her to come in due to her current contract with CWA. So that's fine. Let me also do this with the referee contract. Completely don't remember what his name is. Referee. Parker Terry. That's the man we're talking about. Alright, so I want to renegotiate his contract. So he's currently on a per show deal. Handshake, whatever, 3 years is fine. We want to make him only available for events. Hopefully that'll solve that stupid problem of his name popping up every time we do a main event or anything like that. Purely for the fact that he's got 64 refereeing now. I need to track his progress. Oh, he was 62. He wasn't actually that bad. Why? For some reason, I thought he was really, really bad. Yeah, he was only 62, so that's actually not too bad. Anyway, get into the next show. We've been not doing a lot since the last show. Well, we have signed Zoe, but apart from that, kind of just reiterating what's already happened. And what happened in the last stream especially. Alright. I think I also need to make that tag team. Anyway, Backstage Incidents. We've got Wrestlers Court there for Katya Kornishkova. Positive Impact. And then we've got... Ooh, this could be interesting. We've got Troy Tornado coming to me backstage thinking T-Bone Bright has a bright future. Okay, that makes sense. And he'd be willing to put him over in order to take him to the next level. The offer is good for two matches. Excuse me. And will expire in 3 months. That's very interesting. Because I guess we really weren't doing anything too special with T-Bone. And obviously Troy, I'm not really that fussed about Troy because he's quite old. That definitely could be something we do, actually. Alright, let's do some more meddling here. Just want to try and get rid of this. All this negative energy between these people. Alright, so here's the current size of what we're looking at the moment. As you can see, 81 popularity in about half of the regions. And then we're at 80 popularity in pretty much all the rest of the regions there. So things have been going really, really well. Canada also looking pretty similar. 78s across the board with a 79 there in Ontario. And only recently did we pick up our huge pay-per-view carrier deal, which does have, I think, big coverage or huge. It might be huge coverage in Mexico as well. I can't remember 100%, but we're actually only 1 point of popularity away from getting a TV deal in Mexico. As we need 26 in 2 regions. So that'd be awesome. given us a lot more growth potential in Mexico. Yeah, anyway, Cloverfields. Let's get booking. Now, obviously, we've got our main event. I've got it in my mind already set out. So we're gonna have Jay Cord and Greg Gage taking on Mighty Mo and, as you'd expect, Brandon James. Essentially blending the two storylines together. Should be a good match on paper. And I think we'll give the victory to Jay, and obviously Brandon can be the loser. Alright, I like that. I feel like that is a pretty solid main event. Perfect. Alright, up next. I think I want to have Thunder from Down Under in a 6-man tag match. Alright, so let's get rid of the women out of there first, and we'll go with our boys Nicky Gilbert, Ty Primero, and Will Beaumont. And I guess they can maybe verse... Nice Grey Slacks is now following. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'm not too sure who they can actually verse. So what's Nicky's popular? It's only 23? Oh, man. They're actually going to have to verse a relatively decent team. Well, team of 3. So, what I think we'll do... We need at least one person with good popularity, which could be Finley or Faraday. Although I've kind of built Finley up, and I don't really want to be ruining his popularity so early. Actually, we'll go Chris Flynn, because I really don't care about Chris Flynn at all, to be honest. So I think he can maybe team with the Latino Kings, and we'll do this match. And we'll give the victory to Nicky Gilbert, because obviously he is the current leader of the stable. Noah, good to see you in the chat, man. You've only missed one show, despite me being live for 47 minutes, so... Yeah, we're only just getting into the second one. Alright, so it's going to need to be scripted. Obviously, Will's psychology is pretty lacking at the moment. But there is Thunder from Down Under actually getting a victory on pay-per-view, on TV. Alright, up next, let's go with... I think we need a #1 contenders match for the television title. I do want to still defend it at pay-per-views. It kind of just makes sense, to be honest. And speaking of Finley Faraday, let's actually put him into the match. And then let's also go with Ernest Youngman as well. And then I think finally we can use Danny Fonzarelli. So Danny's gonna pick up a loss here. We might actually give it a bit of time. Let's give it... I think he has bad stamina. It's 61. It's not too bad. He might actually be able to do a 20-minute match. Let's have a look. I think we'll give the victory to Finley Faraday. I think it should be... This should be a really good match. And yeah, no real penalties. Okay, so that's the #1 contenders match. Let's also actually add... let's add a few people into this storyline. Not create a new one. Let's add workers. So I think we want Ernest in there as well, and then I think we also want Finley as well in there. You know, his popularity has gone up to about 40, so I feel like it makes sense. Up next... Just trying to think what I want to do next, because I do want to have... Well, I need to have some way of splitting up Killer Shark and Titan, so... I think that's a good storyline name, The Behemoths Are No More. And I think we've got Eddie Peak in there as well. I like that. I'm actually thinking of a way that we can actually blend that in. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to have another tag team match with the Behemoths, and they're going to... Oh, man. His popularity is so low. It's so low. We got it up to 70. He's not back from rehab, but this is going to be like a long-term storyline. I guess they can verse maybe Fat 40s. No, we'll go Divine Fortune. I think that's better. 12 minutes is fine, and we're actually going to give Daryl Divine the victory onto Titan. And of course, this is going to piss off Killer Shark. And the cracks are going to start to show. They've already lost, you know, back-to-back title matches. So, yeah. It's pretty much gone from bad to worse for our boys, the Behemoths. I think I might also want to keep Killer Shark strong. Just to make sure he doesn't lose any more of that popularity that we built up so well, only to throw away onto 40-year-olds being the new wave. Anyway, up next, I guess we could go a singles match, and we'll use some more women. Let's go with Danielle Sweetheart. Actually, no. Hold on. Let me see what we've got first. All right, let's actually go Tiffany Jade, and she can take on Calliope Woodchuck. I feel like that'd be a pretty good match. Obviously, Woodchuck's, you know, she's got decent ability about her. Wondering if it needs to be scripted, though. It needs to be scripted. Okay. A little bit unfortunate that she's only got, what, 44 psychology. There we go. Alright, let's book our angles, because I don't want to book too much without getting those down pat. Let's have J-Cord. And I guess Greg Gage. Give that one 8 minutes. That can be our pre-main event angle. I do want to give... I wanted to give Thunder from Down Under an angle themselves, but obviously we'll essentially be overusing them if we do that. I'm thinking maybe we try Finley Faraday or Ernest. Kind of want to give an angle to Ernest, but again, I'm not sure if his popularity is going to let us do that. Yeah, definitely not. Alright, what we can do, let me try and lower that to 16. And then we'll get rid of this angle, because we don't really need it. We'll use somebody else. I guess, yeah, Danny. I mean, Danny can just do an angle himself. Prior to that match. Alright, so what I will also do is have Killer Shark and Titan, so they can essentially do one last Menace angle together. And obviously they're going to lose again, so that's fine. And we'll advance their storyline as well. All right, there we go. And I guess we'll give Tiffany Jade an angle for herself. She is probably going to be the most important member of our women's division, at least for the start. All right, so we need a few more matches as well. HLGLH. How you going, man? Good to see you in the chat again. Alright, what else do we need? We need something else. Let's go, I guess, another tag match. And let's get Fat 40s in there, and I guess they can take on. I don't really want to do Rich and Famous again. Let's use our new team that we haven't actually named yet. So it was actually no, let's go Wolf Hawkins and who else? Maybe Troy? Yeah, we'll go Troy. Yeah, that kind of works. So Wolf will get the victory. I haven't really used Wolf too much recently. Did he even have a match at the last pay-per-view? I don't think he did. Very strange. He definitely needs to start getting involved a little bit more. Or I need to make sure he's getting involved. So let's make that the Wild Brawl match. As I think that'd be good for it. I guess we'll lower it down to 10 minutes because of our fat boys over there. Even though they're not actually fat, but well, one of them is, and the other is not. Okay, so that's that. Who was I gonna have Troy take on again? That's right. Alright. T-Bone Bright. So let's give T-Bone an angle on Troy Tornado. I think we'll script it. Try and give it 8 minutes as well. And I guess we'll create a storyline for that as well. We lower that by 2, and then we'll lower this one by 2 as well. Okay, there we go. And we also need a storytelling match, which is obviously going to be the Behemoths taking on Divine Fortune. Okay, what else? We got probably some penalties, I would assume. Yeah, essentially just Ernest and Finley. Okay. So I guess we'll just reduce that to 14 and take off the slow build. Still getting penalized. Okay. I mean, it's only slightly being overused, so I guess that's fine, kind of. But we also need Oxford to do less road agenting. A lot less road agenting as well. Okay, well. Well, that's sorted out. There we go. Okay, finally. Alright, on the pre-show, let's go for a 6-man as well. And we're going to have Primetime Jack Pride, Moriarty Schnell, and Willie LaRue. And they are going to take on the team of... Who have we got? Aaron Andrews, Bart Biggins, and Sammy Back. T-Bone Bright? T-Bone Bright. Alright, there's a good pre-show match, and we'll give the victory. I guess we'll give it to T-Bone. I want to try and build up his momentum, especially as he's going to be involved. Alex the Tall, good to see you, man. Been a while? Yeah, it's been a little while. Didn't do much streaming this week. Kind of just took a step back, you know, spent some time with my girlfriend, did a few other things. Just living life, obviously working as well at the same time, but still getting some YouTube videos out. For you, it was for me as well, man. I don't think I actually streamed this week. So you didn't miss much, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, needs to be scripted and decisive. Should I do another one? Let's do a tag, and we'll see who's left. Probably want to do actually a women's pre-show match as well. Now that I think about it. Let's have the Puerto Rican boys take on Rich and Famous. And we'll give Rich and Famous a victory. Don't think it needs to be scripted, actually. I think it can be called. Got a sneeze. Okay, I think I'm good. I didn't actually sneeze, but I was about to. Okay. Oh yeah, women's match as well. Let's just do a tag match with our women. And let's have Alina, and I guess Alina and Danielle Sweetheart can team up to take on Juliet Balcony and Katya Kornishkova. Should be, I mean, it's not going to be a great match, but it'll be an okay match, to say the least. There we go. Pre-show. Done. Alright. I saw in your BCG career that sometimes your wrestlers have like 61 and 64 rating, but the match gets a 71. In my game, I can't get higher rating than their actual performances. So the thing with that is, it's the way that you're booking the match. Now, obviously, you need to look at your product settings first and foremost, and you need to try and make sure that you are doing the correct things you need to do. Obviously, if you're popularity over performance based, then you need to have better workers with better popularity, and obviously they're not going to really take into account the wrestler's actual ability in the ring as much as their popularity. So if that's the case, obviously BCG is performance over popularity. So the better the performers are, and the way you book the match in regards to being slow built, obviously the match being called as well, those different things will allow you to get better ratings than the in-ring performances of the workers. It's happened on this series a couple of times where, like, for example, let me show you the history. So, Summer Showdown, 81 rated main event. I'm pretty sure J Cord got a 94 in-ring performance and Aaron Andrews got a 92. In theory, if this match was booked correctly, with the perfect amount of time, obviously slow built, good announcers, without penalties, I would expect with those in-ring performances to probably get like a 94 or a 95. But I think it probably could go up to a 98, depending on, how well it's actually booked and what their popularity is. Of course, it also takes their wrestling ability into account as well. But an 81 for that one. There are a few penalties, and there are a few things I did wrong when I was booking the match. Obviously, I'm still a little bit unsure about match times and how long, what's the sweet spot for a match to go. But I'm going to try and figure it out. It seems like 20-minute matches, for me personally, at least on this series or save that I've been doing, they seem to rate higher than 30-minute matches, for example. So that might be something to think about. Anyway, let's run the show. All right, we start off with a 54 for Alina America and Danielle Sweetheart, defeating Juliet Balcony and Katya Kornishkova in 12:15 when Danielle Sweetheart pinned Juliet with a super kick, and as you'd expect, Danielle being the top performer of the match. But unfortunately, we've got Katya debuting her Russian Ice Queen gimmick, and it got an initial rating of awful. So that's not too good. Okay. We then go into a 50 rated tag team match on the pre-show, where we have Rich and Famous defeating the Puerto Rican boys in just under 12 minutes when Jake Idol pinned Island Boy Apollo with a reality check. As you can see, Rich and Famous, they're really good. They're really, really good. Both getting 51 in-ring performances there. Unfortunately, Island Boy Apollo also off his game. So that kind of sucks. We're not really using them too well. But we will eventually. It's just kind of a matter of time. And finally, our last pre-show match of this TV show, we get a 65, where we have Aaron Andrews, Bart Biggins, and T-Bone Bright defeating Gotta Wear Shades in 12:04 when T-Bone Bright pinned Moriarty Schnell with a T-Bone Lariat. Really good match. Aaron Andrews really stood out with an 88 in-ring performance. Alright, so we then start the show off with a 61 rated angle from Tiffany Jade, course, she's definitely the most over in our women's division. So yeah, it's a pretty good rating. I'm assuming the match, did relatively well. And we get a 57 for Tiffany Jade defeating Calliope Woodchuck in 11:33 by pinfall with a green Destiny. And we got Calliope debuting her bubbly babyface gimmick, getting an initial rating of very good. So that's a positive, especially after seeing Katya's awful rating for her gimmick. And a 30 in-ring performance there from Calliope, so not too bad. All right, we then go into a 66 rated angle. We have T-Bone Bright. Essentially, I guess, how should I book this? Let's say they have a run-in backstage, and obviously T-Bone is not impressed with Troy Tornado, bumping shoulders with him. Obviously, Troy is the heel in this situation, but T-Bone's not backing down. He's not letting the veteran get the best of him. And of course, Troy's heading out to the ring. That's a pretty good match. We get an 81 for a 10-minute tag match. Very interesting. We got Wolf Hawkins and Troy Tornado defeating Fat 40s in 10:22 when Wolf pinned Tanner the Mighty with a full moon rising. And a 90 in-ring performance there from Wolf Hawkins. Solid tag match. Alright, we then go into a 76 rated Behemoth angle. Of course, there's a lot of dissension between the two, a lot of animosity from Killer Shark, because Titan's obviously, not only is he the one that cost them the titles in the first place, but also the subsequent rematch as well. The next match gets a 62, where we have Divine Fortune defeating the Behemoths once again. Another loss in their record in just under 12 minutes when Daryl Divine pinned Titan once again with the pinfall loss. And he beat him with a Divine Dream drop. Not a great match. Not a great match, but obviously it's playing its part, let's just say that. Alright, we then go into a 67 rated Danny Fonzarelli angle. Of course, he's involved in the #1 contenders match for the television title. That's a pretty good rating for that match as well. Get a 71 for a very low mid-carder match. Got some police sirens in the background. Alright, so we got Finley Faraday defeating Danny Fonzarelli and Ernest Youngman in 14 minutes when Finley Faraday pinned Ernest with an atomic spinebuster, thus becoming the #1 contender for Ed Stone's television title. So that should be a pretty interesting match. Obviously, Finley's been here. I think it might have been our first signing that we've actually made. So, pretty happy to see him start to improve. Like I said, he's up to, he was 40 popularity. Ernest also getting up there pretty quick as well. Okay, this one was, this one was bad. I thought having Chris Flynn in there might have prevented this from tanking, but it really didn't. It really didn't prevent it at all. Anyway, we get a 39 where we have Thunder from Down Under defeating Chris Flynn and the Latino Kings in 11:32 when Nicky Gilbert pinned Hector Galindo with a fisherman's suplex. And as you can see, Primero seemed off his game, and the crowd was turned off by the match. Yeah, not great, but obviously it's going to help their popularity out quite a bit, I would assume. Alright, we then go straight into the pre-main event angle, getting us a 93 from Jay Cord and Greg Gage, which I think is quite a lot better than Greg's been doing on his own. But obviously Jay Cord is pretty much a guaranteed 100 rating whenever he's alone by himself, So I guess it's kind of the best of both worlds in this scenario. Obviously helping Greg out, but still getting a really high rating for Jay as well. And the main event does pretty well. 83, that's a positive rating in my eyes. I think anything above an 81, which is our current popularity, is, in my eyes, better than average. So yeah, 83 is good. And we have Jay Cord and Greg Gage defeating Mighty Mo and Brandon James in just under 20 minutes when Jay Cord pinned Brandon with a cradle pile driver. And yeah, Brandon James being the weak link. Otherwise, this match would have been pretty good. As you can see, everybody in the match was 85 or over except for Brandon, who got a 59 and was also really off his game. So this could have been a solid match. Anyway, finish the show. We do get an 83 for our overall show rating as well. But unfortunately, it does only increase our popularity in one region, which I'm assuming would be one of the Canadian regions. Maybe the Maritimes, I think. I can't remember 100%, but I'm thinking it might be the Maritimes. Alright, so Noah, what... would you happen to know what makes an angle lose heat? I'm pretty sure it loses heat when it's lower. Like, the rating is lower than the current storyline. Let me show you the storyline. So the heat is 82, right? So in order to sort of maintain that heat, you need to get an... I think it would be an angle similar to it or above it to obviously increase it. So basically, if you're getting a 60 rated angle for one of these workers, or a 60 rated match between, you know, the workers involved, then it's gonna drop it a little bit. I mean that 85 there looks really good. Yeah. Obviously, some storylines are hot, and obviously, the better the angle or the match, obviously can aid towards a storyline becoming hot. And obviously, if you have a hot storyline, that actually gives you a bonus if you have a match between those workers. So it's an interesting thing. Who's the Rogue? Wrath of God is his gimmick he's going with. Got Killer Cass going to Oli by the looks of it. Let's have a look. Yeah, handshake deal for Killer Cass. He's also currently with QAW. Alright, so we've got Aaron Andrews, and he thinks Nicky Gilbert is a natural talker. He's worth giving promo time. I'm going to agree with that. And I think on the next TV show, we're going to actually just do an angle for Thunder Down Under. Alright, so we've got a 3.94 TV rating, but still under 3 million viewers. It's a little bit upsetting, but it's fine. That's a pretty good main event there by SWF. Angry Gilmore and Valiant defeating Des Davids and Rocky Golden. 95. Wow. That's pretty good. We did have a chance to actually sign Des Davids. I probably should have tried to do that. But back then I was kind of thinking about the whole finance situation. I'm going to have a look at a few of these. Ooh, Angry Gilmore. I know he's 42 years old, but his contract expires in 3 months. He could be an interesting option. As you can see, he's pretty bloody talented. He's very, very good. But obviously he's going to be in time decline. So how much would he cost as well? That's not too bad. Only 112,000. What about Valiant? Damn, Valiant is popular, man. He's not very good. Well, he's good, but he's not great. Does have really good star quality though. What about his contract? Oh, he's still over a year. Okay. That's fine. We still actually beat them in the show rating, so, you know, it's a positive. I'm not sure if it'll do enough for us to win the national battle, but pretty good. At least we're kind of beating them. That's kind of the main thing. All right. I did actually get affiliate on Twitch after the last stream, I think it was. I'm not sure if I actually set up the whole subscription thing, but let me go and have a look. Go full screen here for a second. Okay, I think I actually did. I couldn't remember because I set it up at like, I think I set it up at something like 3 a.m. in the morning after I finished one of those streams last week. And I was kind of delirious as I was doing it. I was going to ask you guys, is there a subscribe button at the top of the screen? Above the actual video box itself? Oh, that's not good. Oh, come on, man. We missed Lauren Easter. No. No. Oh, man. We missed Lauren Easter. Oh, I'm so upset. Damn it. It would have been awesome to bring in. Alright, so Nick Booth, his contract is currently running out. He's a troublemaker backstage. I'm not sure if I want to keep him, to be honest. Emily McQueen. Now, she's a announcer, isn't she? Or a color commentator. She's actually not better than our current color commentator. There's a follow button heart and a bell. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'll probably just have to suss it out myself, I guess. Maybe I didn't actually activate it properly. Anyway, doesn't matter. Duke Freeman. Yeah, I don't really think he's any good, is he? Yeah, no. I think we'll let his contract run out. Just we kind of need the room in developmental, so I'm not too worried about him. What else? We could go. Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of pissed off that I missed Lauren Easter because she's a favorite of mine in the Cverse in regards to the women. All right, what do we got? More psychology, please. Yes, perfect. Aaron Andrews been passing on tips on using psychology to his protege, Moriarty Schnell. Very nice. All right, what else we got? Please, I need some successful meddling. Let's go with Ed and Mark. Positive. Yeah, not lucky. Not lucky today. Alright, again, we're just going to stick with Cloverfields. I feel like I don't really want to move out of the Mid-South region, if I'm being honest. Alright, now what are we going to do for this main event? I think what I do want to do... let's do this first of all. Let's go back. and I want to borrow a worker. So I guess we can borrow Duke Freeman. Actually, looking at developmental, it's kind of a little bit thin at the moment. I mean, we had a problem just recently where obviously I couldn't put any more workers into there. Hence, Felipe and Seth came out. Anyway, so yeah, Killer Shark is obviously not the main event, but we're going to have Killer Shark take on... who was the guy I just brought up? Duke Freeman, that's it. Is he a heel at the moment? I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? It's going to be a squash match anyway. 5-minute squash. Obviously, Killer Shark going to get the victory. And we'll make it domination. Not Duke to dominate. Killer Shark to dominate. And then we'll make it scripted and decisive. Bryant can be the road agent for that. Okay. Main event. Don't really know what to do for the main event. I'm guessing we could do... let's see what we got. Let's get rid of those and see who's left. Alright, let's have Sammy Back take on Wolf Hawkins. Should be a really good match. I might actually move Wolf out of the storyline with the world title and move him into the #1 contenders. Because there's not really a lot he can do in the world title storyline at the moment, unless we have people beat him. I don't really want to do that to Wolf, because he's super talented. Either way, that's going to be a really big main event. We might even do like a rematch at the pay-per-view between those two guys. I think that could be a good idea. Alright, up next, let's go a tag match with... let's have the champions, the New Wave, take on... who can they take on? Let's do this. Let's have them take on Moriarty Schnell and Willie LaRue. Ooh, 27 pop there for Willie, and Moriarty's at a 31. Really? I didn't even realize that we jobbed them out that well. So we give Scout the victory there. That's pretty interesting, man. I'm really surprised with that. Obviously, it's going to be a non-title match. But yeah, that's an interesting one for sure, for sure. Okay. Alright, what else are we going to do? Now, I want to give Thunder from Down Under an angle, so I have to remember to do that. We might actually do one of our famous sit-down angles, or sit-down interviews, I should say, with Kyle Rhodes, Nicky Gilbert, Will Beaumont, and Ty Primera. Alright, so let's do this. So we need a match for Ed Stone. And I guess he can team up with maybe Danny to sort of continue his involvement. And they can take on Finley, Faraday, and Maverick. Of course, Maverick and Finley, for a long time, had a decent partnership between them. What's Finley's popularity? He went up 1 point by winning that match. That's pretty frustrating, not going to lie. He only went up 1 point, winning a triple threat match that was pretty good as well. It was a pretty good match. think you got, what, 71? The last TV show? Alright, so I'm going to have Ed Stone in Maverick, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's what we're going to do. Okay. We'll make it decisive as well. So there's that match. I guess we'll go another singles match. And I think I want to have Greg Gage take on someone. Maybe we can have Greg take on... Nah, I can't do that. It will ruin my angle. But he could take on Felipe. I mean, I think that could be a relatively good match as well. So let's have Greg get the victory. I think we can call it. And we'll make it decisive. But let's actually have a botched interference on Felipe by Brandon James, who essentially cost Felipe the match when he was going after Greg, obviously, to continue their storyline together. Let's go for a... Alright, one other thing I want to do is we're going to add the women's title. So what we're going to do, we're going to run 2 triple threat matches to determine our number 1 contenders this week and obviously next week. And then at the pay-per-view, we will crown our first women's champion. So let's do that. So TCW women's. There is already a title belt in there, I think. Yeah, there it is. Women's title. Perfect. So singles, it's going to be female only. None of that really matters. Title is considered an achievement. I guess it's considered an achievement. Don't really know what that means. Anyway. Here we go. Oh, I don't really like that prestige. Hopefully that'll change. I don't like it being 80. 80 seems way too high when you consider that the world title is currently only 82. And that's obviously pretty prestigious. I'm assuming that'll drop quite a lot. Okay. What else do we need? We still need a lot more time, so we need a women's match. Triple threat. I think we'll stick with triple threat. Achievements are like Money in the Bank winner. Okay, well, seeing as that's what that is, and you've explained it to me, Noah, I think I'm going to change it. I'm not sure if it will actually... change the... Yeah, it didn't actually change the prestige, but anyway. Alright, so I turned achievement off. It does make more sense not to have it on. Alright, so women's triple threat. Women, faces. Let's go with Alina. Let's go with Danielle Sweetheart, and then let's grab a heel. So let's go with Katya. Katya Kornishkova. This should be an okay match. I don't think it's going to be that bad. But obviously, the winner of this match is going to be Danielle, and obviously Katya is going to be the loser. Obviously, Alina, relatively popular, but just not going to make it. So that's our match. Well, our triple threat number 1 to be the number 1 contender match, I guess, kind of. It makes sense in a weird way. I guess what we could also do is add in a women's division storyline. It kind of makes sense to have one of these going as well. Let's go with Alina. And let's go with Calliope Woodchuck. I mean, it really doesn't matter. There's the women's division, and we'll just add the rest of our women into this one. So, Black Diamond. Juliet Balcony, Ruby Reese, Spider Asarco, and, well, Zoe Amis once she eventually gets here. Is there any more? Am I missing someone? Oh, Katya, obviously. And Sabrina. There we go. Okay. So I think we're kind of good for time. Let's do angles. So I want to have a Wolf Hawkins angle prior to the main event. We'll give that to Robert Oxford. As far as after the main event, I think I want to go with just a J-Cord Mighty Mo angle. Let's do a fighting angle. Do I want to do fighting? Yeah, let's do it. 4 minutes. It's basically just going to be a beatdown. J-Cord's going to attack Mighty Mo. Actually, we'll do entertainment for Mighty Mo. And then we can actually make it like an 8-minute angle. And obviously Mighty Mo's going to be talking. J-Cord's going to ambush him from behind and beat his ass, basically. Beat the ever-living crap out of him. And you might say J-Cord might be a little bit intimidated by Mighty Mo. Alright, what else do we need to do? I think we need a Brandon James angle as well. On Great Gage. This can come after the match. So that'll be pretty good to at least advance or further advance their storyline. What about Danielle Sweetheart? Can she cut an angle? She definitely can. She's actually really good. Wow. Alright, so let's give an angle to Danielle Sweetheart. Because of course she is going to essentially win the first of our women's #1 contenders triple threat matches, whatever the hell we're doing. So that's that one. I might put this match on before it, because I do want to have one more angle to kick us off, which is going to be the Thunder from Down Under angle. So Nicky Gilbert, we're going to have Will Beaumont and Ty Primero. I'm just wondering, I should probably check if they can all speak. I know these two can definitely speak. I'm thinking Will can speak as well, but I'm not 100% sure about Ty. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I'm not 100% sure. Alright, let's also make this a Wild Brawl match. And then we also need a storytelling match. I guess could be this one here. Obviously the story between Finley and Ed Stone. Okay. Let me just check. Can Will Beaumont cut an angle? Oh yeah, he definitely can. He's pretty good. 62 mic, 55 acting. I guess I should also check Ty, just in case he can. I don't want to, like, not include him. Yeah, as you can see, he's a little bit lower. What's the skills involved? So entertainment is microphone, charisma, acting, and I think star quality and sex appeal play a little bit of a role in it. But obviously the main three are charisma, microphone, acting in regards to an entertainment rating on an angle. Yeah, I think we'll leave Ty off entertainment. I mean, it would probably benefit him quite a bit in regards to improving those stats, but I think we'll leave it off for him. He'll still get the popularity by actually being in the angle, despite it not being rated on him, or not rated for anything for him. Okay, let's go a pre-show 6-man match. Let's have Ernest. Let's have a heel team of Ernest, Freddie Huggins, and Joshua Taylor taking on Benny and the Fox. What am I doing? And need faces. Yeah, I guess Bart Biggins kind of fits in there nicely. Actually, let's. Yeah, we'll go Human Arsenal instead. To really job Human Arsenal out, he doesn't really do much, to be honest. And we'll give Ernest the victory, and I guess the loser can be Human Arsenal. Yeah. I mean, that kind of works. Alright, we'll do one more pre-show. I just want to use Moriarty Schnell. Actually, let's do another 6. Yeah, we'll do another 6-man tag. Because I kind of want to use all of our Gotta Wear Shades. So, Primetime Jack Pride. Where is he? M for Moriarty. Are we already using him? We're already using him. Okay. Back to the tag match idea. Because I completely forgot we've actually put them on the main show. And let's go with, we'll go with Mo and we'll go with Aaron Andrews, and they can essentially just take on, I guess they can take on Primetime, Jack Pride, and Damien Dastardly, I guess. Just a random sort of heel team that we're throwing together. More just to give a victory to Mighty Mo and sort of maintain his momentum. Alright, what's our problem? Hap stander? Yeah. Ooh, okay. I also just noticed we are overusing Danielle Sweetheart. Hopefully if I lower it there. Yeah, it's still being penalized. Maybe if I lower that to there as well. No, we're still going to get a penalty if I keep it. Yes, 8 minutes? I mean, that kind of feels pretty shitty to do that. Okay, slightly overused. That's fine. Okay. Well, let's do one women's match on the pre-show as well. So let's have Sabrina, who we haven't actually used yet, and she can take on Spider Asarco. Obviously, I feel like this match is going to be pretty bad, but let's give Spider Asarco the victory. Okay. Once again, Charles Hapstander. There we go. Okay, now let's run the show. And it's pretty bad. Starting off with a 28. Glad, I mean, I knew this one was going to be bad. It's on the pre-show. We have Sabrina. Didn't I just choose... I thought I just choose Spider Asarco to win. Anyway, doesn't matter. We've got Sabrina Wells defeating Spider Asarco in 10.5 minutes by pinfall with a super kick. Yeah, I mean, that's a bad gimmick, man. Sabrina debuting her spunky babyface. Initial rating of very poor. I said I did, but I probably didn't actually do it. Yeah, that makes sense, Noah. I say a lot of things that I don't do. Anyway, Spider Asarco with her Dark Mistress gimmick. Initial rating of adequate. And yeah, Asarco really off her game. That's a match. You thought I did? Yeah, I mean, I thought I did as well. Guess not. But we got a 73 for the pre-show, where we have Mighty Mo and Aaron Andrews defeating Primetime Jack Pride and Damien Dastardly in 12:10, when Mighty Mo pinned Damien with a plunging spine buster. So it's an interesting match to have in the pre-show. Also, Jack Pride seemed off his game. Interesting. All right. And the final pre-show match getting a 66, where we have Ernest Youngman, Freddie Huggins, and Joshua Taylor defeating Human Arsenal and Benny and the Fox in 12.5 minutes, when Ernest pinned Human Arsenal with the hit. And yeah, Human Arsenal Human Arsenal was the weak link, only getting a 48 in ring. Okay. We then start off the TV show with a 56 rated angle, where we have Kyle Rhodes performing one of his famous sit-down interviews, but this time, instead of one person, one-on-one, he's sitting down with the hottest new stable in TCW, and that is, of course, Thunder from Down Under. The three Aussie lads coming together, and of course, Nicky Gilbert and Will Beaumont really putting over their group and putting over Australia as a top competitor in the world of wrestling. And yeah, they're all gonna do good things. And obviously, Nicky Gilbert benefiting from a groundswell of support. Yeah, he's definitely gonna probably become mid-card champion at some stage, Nicky Gilbert. And he's definitely, well, all three of them are going to elevate this stable to a decent position. We then go into a 65 rated tag match, where we have Ed Stone and Danny Fonzarelli defeating Finley Faraday and Maverick in 11.5 minutes, when Ed Stone pinned Maverick with a party's over. And again, this is going to continue Finley Faraday and Ed Stone. Alright, we then go into a 57 rated angle with Danielle Sweetheart. And as you can see, man, my words. I'm getting a little bit tired and my voice is getting a little bit sore. She's getting better at her gimmick, which is what I was trying to say. This match, yeah, it didn't do too well. Yeah, they got a 40 though. That's actually pretty good for one of these sort of bad matches. And we have Danielle Sweetheart defeating Alina America and Katya Kornishkova in 7:39, when Danielle Sweetheart pinned Katya with a super kick. And yeah, Katya was obviously the weak link, and the crowd were turned off. And we also had Alina off her game, so a lot of different things coming together there to prevent us from getting a decent rating. We then move into an 80 rated angle where we have Brandon James, and he's cutting a promo onto Greg Gage, saying that, you know, there's no way that this punk-ass kid is going to be the one that ends my, you know, illustrious career. And obviously, Greg Gage still believes that he's going to be the one to finish off Brandon James once and for all. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We then go into Greg's match, getting a 67, where we have Greg defeating Felipe Caballero in 12:22 by submission with a proton lock. And unfortunately, during the match, we also had Brandon James accidentally hit Caballero. Yeah, and unfortunately, the match with the Wild Brawl was poorly placed due to the fact that the women, you know, essentially brought the crowd back down. So that kind of sucks, but at the same time, not exactly my fault. Yeah, moving on to a 60 rated match where we have the New Wave defeating Moriarty Schnell and Willie LaRue in 12:11, when Scout submitted Willie with a Texas Cloverleaf. And yeah, Willie LaRue was really off his game. Still outperforming Moriarty though, so he's definitely the wrestler of the two. And I'm still a big fan of both these guys. I really like them. It's not just the fact that we stole them away from SWF Developmental. I do really like them. Alright, we then go into a 38 rated squash match, where we have Killer Shark defeating Duke Freeman in 4:53 by pinfall with a big bite. Let's have a look at the dirt sheet. Yeah, well executed squash match. Obviously, it kind of sucks because it's only a 38 rated match, but it is what it is. And obviously, it also got penalized for the heel versus heel, so could have been a little bit better. Anyway, moving on to a 100 rated angle. Obviously, the announcing penalties there. But we also have Wolf, who has a gimmick that is getting stale, so we'll have to tweak that up a little bit. And the main event, getting us an 80. Also, Sammy back with a gimmick that's getting stale as well. So that's about an average main event. You know, it's fine. Nothing special, but, you know, it is what it is. And we do have Wolf Hawkins defeating Sammy back in 20.5 minutes by pinfall with a full moon rising. It's a good match. Wolf getting a 90, Sammy with an 81, and they both have gimmicks that are getting stale, so we're going to have to try and change that a little bit. And then finally, our last angle to finish us off, we have Mighty Mo coming to the ring and essentially cutting a bit of an angle about J Cord and the fact that he, you know, Mighty Mo is going to be the one to well, he's saying that he's the better, younger version of J Cord, and he's going to take his title away from him and go on to have a really successful title reign. Then obviously J Cord is pretty pissed off, runs to the ring, and essentially just beats the crap out of Mighty Mo to end the show. Alright, so we get an 82 there, and again, no popularity changes due to our relatively high popularity in all the regions we have broadcasters, so that's fine. It's actually really good to an extent that we're not actually gaining any popularity. Ooh, Dwayne Fry. I tell you what, is he the book or anything? I want to sign Dwayne Fry. He's 92 announcing. So I'm essentially I'll give him 100 grand if I can. I really do not care. So let's do that. He wants 74, which I'm gonna go pretty high. And I would like to get him maybe for 10 years, if that's possible. Put that at 0 for now. Okay, so he wants 85,800. Do you know what? I'll do 3 years first. This is how we're going to do it. So I'll do 3 years first for that much. But in our renegotiations, I'm going to give him a 10-year contract and whatever amount he wants, or that we can essentially give him. Oh, okay. Let's also give him a bonus of 20%, just so we'll be considered, I guess. Seriously consider signing unless a better offer comes his way. Okay. Perfect. So he will be really, really important to get in. It is extremely rare for a 92 announcer, a 90 plus announcer, I should say, to become available. And the fact that we'd steal him away from SWF would be a massive, massive coup. But we get a 3.95 TV rating there. Still can't break that 3 million viewer mark, which I kind of hate. But anyway. We still beat SWF in regards to the show ratings. However, their matches were a lot better than ours. Looking back on it, I think we really should have signed Mikey Lau. Just with how good he is, it would have been a smart decision, and you know we definitely missed the boat with that one. Albeit it was going to be extremely expensive for us to do it, but it would have put us in a really good position. Anyway, so much blue on Mikey. I know. He's probably the only one I actually regret not signing. Ooh. Let me try and stop the advance here. Probably the one thing that I really dislike about TEW is the fact that the multi-advance just really messes with the game. Anyway, there we go. Alright, so we got the rival bid update. That's what I was kind of worried about. Okay. Alright, so they've gone up to almost 90,000. Okay. Alright, time to try and blow them out of the water, really. Let's go 95,000 per month. That's a lot of money. Not sure if we're actually paying anybody else that much. Not 100% sure. Anyway, we'll give him 20%. We'll give him 35% of merchandise. And then we'll give him a $50,000 bonus as well. Yeah, I guess, yeah, we'll give him a $50,000 bonus. Okay. Hopefully that's going to be enough. Looks like it might be. Okay. Well, with that said, I think I might just advance like 2 days in the future. Just to see if they do like another renegotiation on it. Hopefully we get him, man, because it would be so nice not to have an announcing penalty. Well, obviously, there will be a penalty due to the fact that we have low experience, but I mean, we will essentially have our best announcer that we can possibly get. So that'd be pretty important to get. I mean, the announcing penalties have kind of been punishing us a lot as well. Obviously, a lot of our shows could have essentially been better than they are. All right, so who's this? Roderick Flash. I'll tell you what, he looks pretty good as well. I'm not sure if we want to sign him as well because we've got so many. So many good young talents. But it would be another one to steal away from SWF. I think we'll take a miss on him. I think we'll take a miss on him. We'll let him keep him. All right, so it looks like they actually went back in for another offer. Man, these offers are getting big. What's your finances looking like? I think we have about 26 million in the bank. And we make about 4 million per month at the moment. So the finances are really good, really stable, really positive. But with deals like this, we might not be that good for too long. All right, so let's go 105,000, I think. We'll give him a bonus of 100 grand. I mean, that seems pretty steep. One of two offers. Oh, man, I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk him staying with the SWF. I'm going to give him 30% bonus. And I'm splashing the cash, 110,000. He better come. If he doesn't come to TCW, I'm going to be really pissed off. Oh man, that's so risky. All right, let's do another 2 days and see what happens. Please, man, I need Dwayne Fry. Just give him what he wants. Yeah, I mean, I'm giving him an extra, what, 12,000 per month on top of what SWF are going to give him. So if that doesn't give him enough reason to come to our company, then, I mean, the guy's just kind of an idiot. Not to mention, we're probably a lot hotter in regards to growth than SWF. We're also beating them pretty much in every show, so I don't know, you'd have to be crazy. Ooh, Spencer Spade. Okay. Please tell me we can actually sign him. Okay. We're going hard. We're going hard with it with SWF right now. Spencer Spade is a personal favorite of mine. Did CWA close down in this game? No. CWA is still around. Let me show you companies. Companies, there we go. CWA. There they are. Yeah, they're still around. Yeah, I mean, how good are they doing? We're actually more popular than them in Canada. It's pretty funny. I mean, they've got $1 million in the bank, so they're not doing too well. I didn't realize you could actually see other people's finances just like that. Very interesting. Let's have a look at SWF. Not that one, that one. Okay, they're 50 million. Interesting, okay. Very interesting. Okay, so SWF have not offered another contract to Dwayne Fry. So he will literally be making his decision. Okay, hopefully he does choose us. Alright, so Spencer Spade, we definitely want to get him in. Only 30 years old, and he's super, super good, so I'm kind of willing to break the bank for him as well. Negative 2 million at the start of 2021. Damn, that's crazy. Let's go an 8-year contract. Actually, let's stick with the 3 years, and then we'll do that whole counter offer thing as well. All right, let's see. All right, well, give him 53. See if that kind of changes his mind. I guess we'll give him 20% as well. Hopefully, SWF will do another offer. So we'll advance another 2 days, even though I don't think we can. Alright, so we're up to the next TV show now. Alright, Backstage Incident. We've got Troy Tornado passing on tips to Matt Blackburn on the microphone. And we have another person for T-Bone Bright, being Joshua Taylor this time. Offer is good for 1 match and expires in 6 months. So essentially with that, we can do T-Bone Bright taking on Troy Tornado first, and then we can do Joshua Taylor and T-Bone Bright as well. That might actually push him up into that main event scene a little bit, with 2 victories over 2 really, decent upper mid-carder talents, I guess we have. Anyway. Do some more meddling. Okay, and it backfired. Perfect. That's what you love to see. You love to see meddling backfire, and 2 people now having a strong dislike, who are also going to be versing each other at the pay-per-view. So that's perfect. Anyway, what are we going to do? I mean, what other storylines? We haven't really been booking towards anything else. I guess we could just have all 4 of these guys versus each other in a tag match. We could essentially do a 3-on-3. So this is the go-home show. So let's do this. And we'll have Aaron Andrews team up with Mighty Mo and Sammy back to take on Jay Cord. Who's Aaron versing? I guess Wolf Hawkins would be a smart option. Maybe not. Anyway. And I guess we'll throw in Joshua Taylor as well. I guess we can essentially just recycle Josh Taylor taking on Sammy back to give us our new #1 contender after this month. Let's actually give the victory to Mighty Mo. And the loser can be Josh Taylor. However, what we can do is keep J-Cord strong, obviously. Because he's our world champion, and I really don't want to risk him losing any popularity. So it's going to be called Slow Built Decisive. There we go. Oxford as our road agent. That's a really good match. That's definitely going to rate pretty well. Although Josh Taylor might drag it a little bit. But it still should be relatively good. Alright, up next, let's have a singles match between Elliot Thomas and Titan. And, hold on, maybe not Elliot Thomas. Who else have we got? Let's go Bart Biggins. So it's going to be a 12-minute match. Bart Biggins is going to get the victory. However, it's going to be tainted. And we're going to have outside interference onto Titan by Killer Shark. Going to backstab his behemoth teammate and cost him the match. If you can believe that. There we go. Let's also get rid of... I want to get rid of the tainted finish. Let's leave it like that. Obviously, Bart Biggins, you know, he's not actually cheating. But right place, right time. Okay. What else do we need to do? We need to do... I guess we need a tag match for the Elite. I guess they can just take on the Puerto Rican boys. Kind of just like a warm-up match prior to their title challenge against the New Wave at the pay-per-view. It can actually be called, I think. Should be fine. And we'll go with Bryant. The Road Agent, that one. What else? We could go another victory for Thunder from Down Under. So let's do that. So we need our boy Nicky Gilbert, Will Beaumont, and Ty Pomero. And they can take on the team of Jeremy Courtney, Chris Flynn, and... who else? Nick Booth. Yeah, Nick Booth is actually leaving us soon, so we can essentially job him out and make him actually lose the match. Let's actually give Will Beaumont the victory, and Nick Booth can lose. Okay. I mean, Nick Booth, he's going to be unhappy, but we're going to be letting him go. Oh, too late to tweak Wolf and Sammy's gimmicks. Forgot about that. Not going to lie, forgot about that, but yeah, I think we can do it. I think we can. So where is he? Sammy back. Rockstar. Tweak that one. There we go. Thank you for reminding me, Noah. Appreciate it. Otherwise, I probably would have never changed it until I got the next penalty. And he's got the Alpha Wolf. I like that gimmick. The Alpha Wolf. Love to see it. Alright. So what else do we need? Probably a New Wave match as well. I'm not too sure who they can verse, though. They've already kind of versed those guys. You know what? Let's do... oh, he's a face, isn't he? I kind of wanted to do Seth Whitehead and Felipe Caballero, but I just remembered Felipe is a face. Anyway, let's do Mark Speed and Matt Hocking. We haven't used these guys. I was kind of pushing Mark Speed. Maybe we don't do him. Let's do Roderick Remus. There we go. That works out pretty well. Actually, we'll give this one 20 minutes as well. Because obviously I like the other guys, even though we're not using them at the moment. And obviously I like the new wave, so it kind of makes sense. And that's going to be a good match. Obviously non-title. Because they've got their title match at the pay-per-view up next, but that looks pretty good. Let's also do our other women's match. Hopefully it won't get a penalty. A little bit worried about it. So this one's going to be Tiffany, Jade, and Black Diamond. Yeah, we'll go Black Diamond. And they can take on Ruby Reese. Alright, so that match looks pretty good. At least in regards to our other triple threat match. And Ruby Reese actually has a bit more popularity than I thought she would have. Alright, let's book angles. So let's just go with a face. Who else? Sammy back, yeah. Yeah, it can actually advance the storyline as well. Because Aaron Andrews and Mighty Mo are both in the same angle. That'll go there. I think we'll do Wolf and Aaron Andrews. And that can be our final angle. That should be pretty decent as well. I think we're going to do that match at the pay-per-view. Which is actually like a pretty important match on the on TCW, in TCW terms, I should say. So that one will go there. I think we'll let's go with a new wave angle as well. So with Guide and Scout. And I think this angle can go on before the Elites match. So just there's fine. What else have we got? Maybe Tiffany Jade, but we're actually out of time. So let me lower this one back down to 12. There's no point in putting on a match that's going to be that long if we can't do what we want to do with our angles during the show. So let's do Tiffany Jade, and we'll give her 8 minutes to say what she needs to say to dominate the women's division. And that'll go on first. Alright. So with that said, we'll make this our Wild Brawl. Actually, we won't. We'll make that storytelling, I guess. And we can make this match our Wild Brawl as well. $10 minutes? There we go. Okay. Alright, so Hapstan has far too much refereeing and Oxford has too much road agency as well. So we'll go Ray Johnson. Alright, hopefully that'll fix it. There we go, perfect. Alright. So the pre-show, let's go with the American Cobras, and they can take on Moriarty Schnell and Willie LaRue. We'll give that 12 minutes. With Marvel picking up the victory there as well. Ray Johnson, Dean Daniels, that's fine. And then I guess we'll do another match. And let's have Greg Gage take on T-Bone. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting match. Obviously, Greg hopefully will help out T-Bone a little bit in this match, as he does kind of need it. So that'd be pretty beneficial if he can at least get some, or at least an increase for his psychology would be perfect. And I guess we'll finish it off with I guess we'll go another singles match. And I think we'll have Ed Stone take on Primetime Jack Pride. And that can finish us off. Alright, there we go. Perfect. Let's run the go-home show. Alright, so we start off with a 66 rated match where we have Ed Stone defeating Primetime Jack Pride in 12 minutes by pinfall with a party's over. A really good match, man. Really good. Okay, we then move into a 51 where we have the American Cobras defeating Moriarty Schnell and Willie LaRue in just under 12 when Marvel Malloy pinned Willie LaRue with a Marvel Breaker. And yeah, both Schnell and LaRue were both off their games. That's pretty annoying, not gonna lie. But they're definitely improving, so their in-ring performances are definitely going up, even despite the them being off their games. And wow. Finally, we get a 77 pre-show match where we have Greg Gage defeating T-Bone Bright in 12-19 by submission with a proton lock. And of course, we have Greg Gage off his game as well, still pulling off an 84 in-ring performance. Alright, so we kick off the show with a 64 rated angle where we have Tiffany Jade essentially cutting a promo on the rest of the women's division, saying that they're nowhere near her elite standard of level. No, the competitors here are nothing more than a few rookies and a couple of worse for wear, senior women in the division. And Tiffany's, in her prime, is arguably the most popular woman in the world at the moment, which is obviously not true, but, in TCW terms, she definitely is. And she says that she's going to be the first ever women's champion, and she's going to take that title at Hotter Than Hell. So, yeah. The triple threat, obviously a lot better than last shows or last week's. We get a 49, and we have Tiffany Jade defeating Black Diamond and Ruby Reese in 12-10 when Tiffany pinned Black Diamond with a Green Destiny. And yeah, it's a really good match. Ruby Reese debuting her bubbly babyface gimmick, getting an initial rating of very good. That's beneficial. Moving on to a 66 rating where we have the New Wave defeating Roderick Remus and Matt Hocking in just under 12 minutes when Guide pinned Roderick Remus with a guided missile. Just a tune-up match, getting ready for the pay-per-view. The next match didn't do too well. We get a 37, which is bad. And we have Thunder from Down Under, Nicky Gilbert, Will Beaumont, and Ty Pomero defeating Jeremy Courtney, Chris Flynn, and Nick Booth in 11:40 when Will Beaumont pinned Nick Booth with a rocker dropper. And yeah, unfortunately, once again, the crowd was turned off by having a match outside the pre-show. between workers they did not care about. Unfortunate. We then go into a 70 rated angle where we have the New Wave cutting a promo onto the Elite, saying that they're cheats, they do whatever it takes to win, and unfortunately that type of stuff doesn't fly around the New Wave. And of course, we have the Elite's tag team match getting a 60 rating, where we have the Elite defeating the Puerto Rican boys in just under 12 and a half minutes, when Nate Johnson pinned Kid San Juan with an elitism. It's a good match. You know, I didn't really expect the Puerto Rican boys to be carried that well. Yeah, pleasantly surprised. Moving on to a 61 rating, where we have Bart Biggins defeating Titan in 9:33 by pinfall with a B dropper, following interference from Killer Shark. There we go, it's kicked off. Killer Shark has now turned on his tag team partner, obviously with Titan essentially being on a bit of a losing streak now as well. We then go into a 97 for our pre-main event angle with Aaron Andrews, Mighty Mo, and Sammy back. And of course, they're talking strategy. All right, so let's get into the main event. Does really well. That's a solid rating. We get an 85 for our main event here on our Go Home show. And we have Aaron Andrews, Mighty Mo, and Sammy back defeating Jake Horde, Wolf Hawkins, and Joshua Taylor in 2014, when Mighty Mo pinned Joshua Taylor with a plunging spinebuster. And yes, Sammy back was really off his game, but we still managed to get an 85, so that's interesting. That's really good, actually. And a few really good in-ring performances there as well. You got Mighty Mo up to an 88. Does that count for the promise? What promise would that be, Noah? I'm not too sure what you're talking about. Which promise? Anyway, moving on to a 96 rated angle where we have Wolf Hawkins, Taylor offering to put Mo over. Was that a promise? I don't even remember that happening. If it was, maybe it will count. I'm not sure. I think it might be singles matches. I'm not 100% sure if it works in multi-man. Yeah. Anyway, we've got Wolf Hawkins, and he's essentially cutting a promo onto Aaron Andrews, saying that, you know, it all started when Wolf beat Aaron Andrews, took his title off him. And, you know, Wolf kind of says that was the peak of his career. And ever since then, you know, things have started to go downhill. He eventually lost the title to Jay Cord in Total Mayhem. And he blames Aaron Andrews for the downfall of his career. But also kind of reiterates the fact that he was the catalyst, or his victory over him was the catalyst that sort of sparked his world title victory as well. That's a good angle. And of course, we'll put them against each other. Alright, so the overall show rating getting us an 83 and increasing our popularity in one region as well. That's pretty good. And now comes my favourite time of the live stream as we gear up to go into the pay-per-view. Yes. Yes. Dwayne Fry. 110,000 per month. But we get a 92 rated announcer. That is perfect. That is really, really good, but we have to wait another 21 days. So, a little bit frustrating, but obviously, we get it. We get him into the company. Huh, interesting. We could get in Hannah Potter. to be a manager. She's very, very popular, as you can see. I'm just kind of wondering what we would use her for or with. I'm not 100% sure, but how much would it cost? Let's have a look at that first of all. 23,000? Can't really justify bringing in a manager for 23,000. If I did, I'd probably just bring in someone that's not well known and put them on a 10-year contract for 15,000, which would be obviously 7,000 cheaper. Well, even more cheap because she's obviously going to be renegotiated with SWF 4. So, yeah. Anyway, 3.94 for the Go Home show. That's okay. It's about the same. However, we've got Hotter Than Hell in 4 days, so let's just get straight into it. There's nothing I really need to do, and I'm kind of looking forward to starting to book this pay-per-view. I feel like J-Cord versus Mighty Mo could be a really, really good match. I think I'm only going to give it 20 minutes as well. I kind of just want to see. I want to see what happens. I think, hopefully, I'd really love to get a 90 or above for that main event. It should happen. I'm also kind of like looking forward to our first ever women's champion as well. I want to see how well that match does. And I also want to see what happens to the title prestige as well. I'm assuming it's going to go down. I'm just kind of wondering what it will go down to. I mean, realistically, if it's like a 70 rated match, which is what I'm kind of hoping for, between Danielle Sweetheart and Tiffany Jade, I feel like... Yeah, I feel like a 70... I mean, especially after their last match. I don't think we can go epic. I think Mo's psychology's... Why, Spencer? Why? I didn't even see if they changed their offer, man. Damn it. Oh, that sucks. I really wanted him. Although he is the supreme star. Damn, that's frustrating. How long? 3 years. Ugh. Okay, moving on. Moving on swiftly. Got an 82 here. Not a great show, but they still got an 82. No Spencer Spade. Anyway, just chuck it on to North America Prime Select. Save that suggestion there. And we've got Hotter Than Hell. We've also got Matt Blackburn brightening the mood backstage. Feel a bit sorry for those Pride Glory excursion workers that we've got, because I really just don't use them at all. I don't think I ever really will again, to be honest. We've got our own guys that we kind of need to work through and get up to a decent level, so yeah, sucks for them. Anyway, hopefully we'll sell this venue out as well, the Dust Bowl Fields. We did sell it out in the last stream, so hopefully we can get a repeat of that as well. All right, let's book our main event first. J-Cord, Mighty Mo. Mighty Mo's popularity is up to a 79. And obviously J-Cord's, it's up there, brother. It's up there. 88s, pretty much across all the main regions we need it in. Absolutely love J-Cord. I like Mighty Mo as well. I was kind of surprised at his... Like, I didn't even really push him that much, if we're being honest. He just kind of got up there And like he was still in the tag team, and then out of nowhere, he just like popularity started going up and essentially forced me to push him before I wanted to an extent. Yeah. Anyway, next match is going to be the New Wave taking on the Elite for the World Tag Team titles. We'll give it 20 minutes. And you can probably expect that the Elite are not going to be the ones to take the titles away from the New Wave. It is essentially going to be their final run, so it's not happening. Also, didn't put the world title on the line in that match either, so I've got to make sure I do that. That would have been so horrible if I didn't do that. Anyway, up next, Finley Faraday taking on... he's taking on Ed Stone for the television title. There we go. Well, I don't think we can give that 20 minutes. Let's give it 12. For the television title. I mean, that one's a little bit more straightforward. What's Finley's popularity? That's still 41. Okay. Anyway, there we go. There's that match. We'll do the women's match next. So let's have Danielle Sweetheart taking on Tiffany Jade. Like I said, this one should be pretty good. I think we might make it the Calm the Crowd match. But I'm not 100% sure. Anyway. Our first ever women's champion. And she's gonna be a good one, I feel like. She's gonna hold it for quite some time, especially. I don't really see her losing the title for quite some time unless we get a fairly impressive, opponent for her that can carry a division as well as a face. But obviously, in the long term, we're working towards Alina to eventually become our second champion. What's next? We need Aaron Andrews and Wolf Hawkins. Let's make this a special match, actually. I feel like they kind of deserve it. What type of match that will be, I have no idea, but 30-minute Iron Man match? Let's do that. I like that. Aaron Andrews, Wolf Hawkins, whoever can get the most pinfalls in 30 minutes will become our new #1 contender. And I think we know who it's going to be. What happened there? Did I not just book them? I guess not. Okay. What's an Inferno match? Inferno match is when the ring is surrounded by fire. Yeah. It's a pretty interesting match. I think Undertaker and Kane had a match like that. Hotter than hell. I mean, it does kind of make sense to do an Inferno match. We might do it next year. Let me read the description. Yeah, so the ring is surrounded by flames, the winner being the first man to set the other man on fire. And I think it was Kane versus Undertaker. I'm not sure if it was on a pay-per-view or if it was on Raw. Might have been on Raw, I think. Well, there was definitely... Yeah, there was definitely an Inferno match on Raw at some stage. Raw is War, actually. It was a long time ago, but yeah. So open, slow built, decisive. And yeah. Things are going from bad to worse. Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh. Oh, okay. I guess it was because I changed it for some reason. But it's a 30-minute Iron Man match. Yeah, that confused me. I guess because it was still on Inferno, the game recognized me putting it as an Inferno match. So the pay-per-view provider wouldn't even actually let us do an Inferno match. Yeah. So I guess we won't be doing that anytime in the near future. Anyway, maybe on TV. Maybe on TV we can do it. All right, what else have we got? We need T-Bone and Troy Tornado. T-Bone and Troy. There we go. Do I want to give this one 20 minutes as well? Yeah, I mean, I guess I could. We are going to give T-Bone the victory, so it's going to be interesting. I mean, it's really going to help out his popularity, that's for sure. I'm just kind of wondering how much it's going to damage Troy Tornado's popularity. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, Joshua Taylor and T-Bone. And earlier we had Troy Tornado do the same. Pop can always be rebuilt. Yeah, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. Also, I don't really care about Troy Tornado, so yeah, it doesn't really matter if his popularity takes a relatively big hit, as long as it's still around 65 plus. And as you can see, he's been doing pretty well actually, because he was at 66, and he's been essentially jobbed out to our main stars. So, and he's gained popularity, so it's fine. Not too worried about it, I guess, in the long run. He's also old as hell, so another thing I don't really have to worry about. Now, what else do we need to do? Yeah, I mean the behemoths. We're still almost forgot that match. Brandon James, Greg Gage. Ooh, okay. Let's make that a special match as well. I feel like it kind of needs to be. Maybe like I Quit, because it is essentially Greg Gage, trying to end the career of Brandon James. So I feel like an I Quit match is pretty fitting. Greg Gage wants to make him quit the business, essentially. And Greg is going to get his final victory to sort of end their storyline. We will actually end the storyline as well with this match. So the rise and rise of Greg Gage will be ended, and he'll be pushed into the number one contender storyline from the next stream. So that'll be pretty cool. Let's also make Bryant the red agent there. Alright, so we need a storytelling and we need a wild brawl. And the women cannot be involved. Okay. So this one, Ed Stone, Finley, Faraday, wild brawl. That one's easy. As far as storytelling goes, probably this match, because obviously there's a lot of story, there's a lot of history between the two. Yeah, so I like that. Only problem is our time. So what I'm going to do is reduce this down to 12 minutes. Get rid of the slow build. And then I think we're going to reduce this match down to 10. And the women's match down to 10 as well. Alright, so that gives us a little bit of room for promos. Obviously, I want a J Court angle before the main event. And that kind of goes without saying, so there's 8 minutes down. And we've only got 6 left. I think I want this match there as well, just to build the crowd back up. I guess the other angle we could do is Greg to begin the show. It kind of feels weird not having more angles. Yeah, the women's match is Calm the Crowd, as you can see there. So I feel like that's kind of a good place to put it. Go straight into the tag title match, J-Court angle, and then the main event. It's just having this 30-minute Iron Man match is really like, it's essentially taken up 2 angles, having it go for that long. Which isn't really necessary, but what I could do is maybe reduce this down to 12. I kind of feel bad for doing it. But at the same time, it's going to give us one more angle at least, so I may as well. Then we can actually give the angle to maybe Wolf. Let's go Aaron. Let's go Aaron Andrews. 8 minutes. And then we'll chuck that before the Iron Man match. Alright, that looks a little bit better. What's our problem? We got Johnson, too much refereeing. Alright, Hapstander. Perfect, alright. Pre-show. Let's do something interesting. Let's have a battle royale on the pre-show. A 20-man battle royale. And we'll just throw in whoever's around, essentially. So Exclude already booked. Let's add in Primetime Jack Pride. Let's add in all 3 members of Gotta Wear Shades. So Primetime. Where is he? There he is, Moriarty Schnell and Willie LaRue. Then I guess we want Ernest in there as well. Freddie Huggins can go in there as well. Joshua Taylor, we didn't actually use him, so it kind of sucks. Killer Shark. Mark Speed. And I guess we need 2 more. Let's go Maverick. And Roderick Remus. There we go. So there's 10 heels. And let's go with 10 faces as well. So Nicky Gilbert needs to be in there. We'll chuck in all 3 members of Thunder from Down Under. Then let's go with Bart Biggins, Benny Benson, Blind Jimmy Fox, Marvel Malloy, Storm Spillane, Sammy Back, and I guess Dazzling Dave Diamond? Sure. Alright, there we go. We'll give it 20 minutes on the pre-show. It really doesn't matter too much, but yeah, there we go. We'll make Bryant the referee, Bryant the Red Agent, Hapstander the referee. We'll give the victory to... I kinda wanted to give it to Killer Shark, so we'll try and do that. It needs to be scripted as well. And then I guess we'll make the... Is there no runner-up? There we go. The runner-up's going to be Sammy Back, which I feel like will be pretty interesting. Finalist will make Josh Taylor, and the other finalist can be maybe Mark Speed. Yeah, we'll go Mark Speed. Why not? Actually, let's go with a face. Let's go with... Who is a face? Maybe Nicky Gilbert? Yeah, let's go Nicky Gilbert. And most eliminations will be Killer Shark. Just absolutely dominating. Alright. Hopefully, Sammy's not going to be too upset about that. Maverick's upset. It doesn't matter. We'll just keep... Whoever's upset, we'll just keep them strong. It really just does not matter. Okay, Sammy Back was unhappy, but saw Killer Shark cracking his knuckles and then decided not to worry about it. Alright, so Joel Bryant and Hapstander. I mean, I'll try that, but yeah. That's going to be Johnson. So we have to use our pay-per-view only referee, Parker Terry. Alright, there we go. Let's also add a women's tag match on there as well, on the pre-show. Let's have Alina teaming up with Ruby, teaming up with Sabrina to take on Juliet and Spider Asarco. Okay, cool. And then we'll give Alina the victory. Okay, there we go. That is our show. Looks relatively small, but obviously a lot of match time in there as well. Let's run the show. Alright, so we start off with a 35 rated women's tag match. We have Alina America and Sabrina Wells defeating Juliet Balconi and Spider Asarco in 11:44, when Alina America pinned Juliet Balconi with a Southern Lights bomb. And apparently Alina and Sabrina have absolutely zero chemistry together as tag team partners. So I guess in a way that's kind of a good thing to know. I'm kind of happy with that. At least it's on a pre-show and not a main show down the line at some stage. We then go into a 66 for our 20-man Battle Royale. Where we have Killer Shark winning in just under 20 minutes, with the other members of the Final Four being Sammy Back, Joshua Taylor, and Nicky Gilbert, with Sammy Back being the final elimination. And we have Killer Shark also getting the most eliminations over the course of the match. Alright, so we then start the show off with an 89 rated angle. We have Greg Gage, and he essentially says that tonight is the night that he makes Brandon James quit the pro wrestling business once and for all. He's going to do horrible, horrible things to the veteran and really just essentially put him down. He's going to put him down like an old dog. And yeah, that's a pretty brutal promo. But he does what he says he was going to do. Well, to an extent. He's obviously not going to retire him. But he's going to beat the absolute shit out of him. So that match gets us an 81 rating. We have Greg Gage defeating Brandon James in an I Quit match in 20 minutes, 25 seconds by submission with a Proton Lock. So essentially locking in the Proton Lock and not really letting it go either. That's a really good rating. I'm happy with that. I think that might be their best match together. I think it is, yeah. Alright, so we then go into a 76 rated match, which is a very, very high rating, considering it was only a 12-minute match, where we have T-Bone Bright defeating Troy Tornado in just under 12 minutes by pinfall with a running power slam. Yeah, so 76 is it's really good. Obviously, the in-ring performances, as you can see, are quite a bit lower. So it was well booked. Lots of bonuses, and I'm assuming not very many penalties there. Just the low experience, declining physical ability, and the stamina, which I didn't really think would be an issue, but there we go. That was solid. All right, we then go into a 100 rated angle from Aaron Andrews, and he essentially addresses what Wolf Hawkins said on the Go Home show. And he basically says that, you know, I might have been the catalyst for your first title victory, but you were the catalyst for your first title victory. Wolf had already been champion before, but Aaron Andrews is trying to say his first title victory against him. And yeah, Aaron Andrews says, you know, tonight he's going to continue his misery, Wolf's misery, and he's going to beat him in an Iron Man match and prove once and for all that he is the better man. Yeah, a 100 with all those red, yeah. I mean, it's all just the announcing, really. So it's just the announcers suck. But hopefully not for long, with Dwayne Fry coming in. The match itself does pretty well, getting an 83. Like, it's above average. Good thing I'm kind of glad I didn't make it the main event. But we do have Aaron Andrews defeating Wolf Hawkins in a 30-minute Iron Man match. Obviously in 30 minutes with 2 falls to 1. And of course, Aaron Andrews thus making himself the #1 contender for J Cord's world title yet again. Of course, it was only last stream that J Cord beat Aaron Andrews, so he's getting another opportunity. Big victory over Wolf Hawkins in this Iron Man match. And he got a 93 in-ring performance here as well. We then move straight into the television title match, which gets a 74. We have Ed Stone defeating Finley Faraday in 9:48 by pinfall with a party's over. And of course, we have Ed Stone making defense number 8 of the TCW television title. Now, of course, the current record is 14 title defenses from Greg Gage. So Ed Stone's getting up there, man. He's up to number 8 already. And, I mean, he is starting to outgrow it, though. So I'm not sure if he will actually get as close to Greg's title, you know, reign, title defense record is what I'm looking for. It's a really good match, though, for a mid-card talent. Of course, Finley Faraday only with a 41 popularity in the Mid-South. We then move into it's not great, a 63 for our women's match. It was a calm the crowd match, so I can't really judge it too much. But we do have Tiffany Jade defeating Danielle Sweetheart in 9:53 by pinfall with a green destiny. And Tiffany Jade wins the first ever, well, she becomes the first ever TCW Women's Champion. It's a good match. And as planned, brought the fans back down a little bit. First ever champ, Tiffany Jade. But she will be carrying the division pretty well, in my opinion. We then go into a 72 rated World Tag Team title match with the New Wave defeating the Elite in 12:14 when Scout submitted Nate Johnson with a Texas Cloverleaf, and the New Wave make defense number 2 of the TCW World Tag Team titles. Yeah, so one last run, and the run is still continuing. The New Wave are still the champs. Scout with a 74 in-ring performance there as well. That's it's not too shabby. That's pretty good for a 41-year-old, I think. 38-year-old. Yeah. I think Guide is 41 and Scout is about 38. Pretty good. Especially for only 12 minutes. Alright, we then go into a 95 rated angle for J Cord. And of course he just tries to piss off the fans. Says there's no way he's going to lose the world title tonight. Not to a guy like Mighty Mo. Anyone better, they might have a chance. But not Mighty Mo. He's not on my level. He's not even close. Alright, here we go. Please be a 90 or above. I need a 90 rated match. Such a letdown. It's still good. It's above average, but the match suffered. Damn it. All right, we got J-Cord defeating Mighty Mo in just over 20 minutes by pinfall with a cradle pile driver. And we have J-Cord making defense number 3 of the TCW World Heavyweight title. I feel like 85 would have been perfect. I would have been happy with 85. Just seeing an 84 there just pisses me off a little bit. It's still above average, but I just feel like it's not good enough for these two guys. As you can see, the match suffered because there was not enough selling shown. Obviously, they've got pretty bad selling, or at least I think Mo definitely has. And again, we're getting penalized for the announcing, color commentary, and the low experience as well. Yeah, I mean, there are 4 penalties which have really affected the match. The selling, the low experience for the announcing team, the poor announcing quality, and the poor color commentary quality as well. Unfortunate. Hopefully it's going to be good enough. Oh, it just gets what we need. So we need a minimum of 84 for our huge let's spat everywhere. Our huge pay-per-view carrier. I think I need a little bit of water. My mouth is extremely dry. Yeah, so 84 for our huge pay-per-view carrier. We get 85. And as you can see, increasing our popularity in 17 regions. Not too sure if that's America or if that's just Canada and Mexico. Probably just Canada and Mexico, to be honest. Anyway, morale issues. Who has morale issues? I think Greg Gage has morale issues. I think Brandon James has them as well. And finally, I'm not too sure. Maybe, I think Ed Stone might have them as well. So we'll do those 3 guys. I was going to go for Mark Spade, but I feel like Ed Stone's probably just a little bit more important, to be honest. So there we go. Alright, so let's have a look. Who's this? Diva Arnold. He looks really good. Why is he in developmental? That looks very, very strange. He looks pretty solid. Yeah, I don't think we'll go for him, but he looks really solid. Anyway. USA area battle. We finished 2nd out of 3. Which it's okay, but obviously we want to be winning the regional battles, or the national battles. We got J Cord with an opinion here. He thinks Sabrina Wells needs to learn how to sell. It's not worth pushing until she does. Jay, based on your last main event, buddy, I think you need to learn how to sell as well. Giving me that penalty rating. Yeah, it's 78. That's pretty good, actually. I don't know. I feel bad. Also, his popularity is literally at an 88 pretty much across all the... Jay got a bonus for selling? Did he? Oh, I probably should have looked at that, shouldn't I? Well, I guess it was Mighty Mo that really dragged the selling in the match. Okay, well that makes sense. Anyway, pay-per-view buy rate 6.73 over 3.3 million pay-per-view buys. That's going to be good for the finances. Let's go check that out. And we're actually over $30 million now. Over 30 mil. Interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting. Anyway, next thing I want to look at before we end the stream here is our TV deal in Mexico. So we're up to 26. We can get a TV deal. So let's do that. Let's have a look at broadcasters. And Mexico. Alright, so I can't remember exactly which one it was. It was this one, yeah, TV Max. 26 popularity in 2 regions, so let's negotiate. New deal for Total Wrestling. There we go. We'll go 1 year. Before I do that, before we get a 1 year deal, let me have a look at the other stations that we can get with. So we don't want pay-per-view. I guess a search... no, that probably won't work. Unfortunately, we can't go on these ones either because they have coverage in the US. So that's free-to-air. That's commercial, but it has to be based in Mexico. Yeah, we can't really do that one either, even though it has to be based in Mexico as well. Based in Mexico and based in Mexico. Okay. Well, there's really not a lot to choose from, actually. It's literally the only one we can get. Unless we got onto one of these other stations here. That's only small in that region anyway. Okay, well, TV Mex it is. There we go. So I guess we will do 1 year. Okay, let's try and get as much money as possible. Really, 60% of revenue to our company. I mean, that looks pretty good. Primetime as well. Okay, there we go. Primetime. I mean, it's only a small broadcaster deal, but I mean, it's going to be a lot more beneficial than having nothing, so I'm pretty happy with that. Hopefully it'll actually boost our TV viewers over 3 million. That'd be awesome. So let's also have a look at the women's title here. Okay. It only dropped 1 point down to a 79. That seems a little weird. I thought it would have dropped down to like 60 or something. But I'm definitely not too upset about it. Anything else I want to check? Let's have a look at some more popularity. So let's check. Obviously, J Cord's at an 88. Let's check Aaron Andrews. Damn, Aaron Andrews is higher. He's up to an 89. He's actually got a 91 in there in the Midwest. Luckily, we still had him for a long amount of time. I think it's the same. Oh, J-Core's not as long. We only got 1 year. Well, basically a year and 3 months for J-Cord. So, gonna be a little bit worried when that one comes up. How about Mighty Mo? Don't think he actually lost any popularity. I think he's the same. And of course, we already gave him a new contract, so yeah, he's got a 9-year contract with us, so I'm pretty happy about that. And he's also his wages won't actually increase at all, so good bit of business there as well. Okay. And Wolf actually didn't lose any popularity either, so that's pretty perfect. Alright, is there anything else I need to do? I don't think there is. I guess the next thing, let me look at more broadcasters. So we got these 3 TV deals. We've got our big well, a huge pay-per-view carrier. What I want to check is Oceania. I guess we can check all of them. Let's check Europe. I haven't actually checked Europe. So 28 popularity in 5 regions. Yeah. Okay. What is this one? Because this is one we really could get on and would be pretty beneficial. Very small in the UK and medium everywhere else. So 38 popularity in 8 regions. Which I assume would be, yeah, all the regions in Europe. And 25 popularity in 8 regions. Okay. Alright, so that's pay-per-view. 35 popularity. Ooh, very big in Europe for a broadcaster. It's only 50 popularity. That really wouldn't take too long to get. And this one actually looks better. It's lower, it's big in Europe. But it's small in the UK as well. And it only needs 48 popularity. That one's actually more interesting to me. So medium-based pay-per-view, 45 in those regions. And then we need... Oh, never mind. We can't do that one anyway. Okay, so I think we go for this one first. And you might be wondering, how are we going to get any popularity in this region? Well, we're essentially just going to create our own broadcaster. Small size. Get onto obviously a bigger network. Get pay-per-view as well. And we're essentially going to do that for Oceania as well. And probably the UK. But if we can get a deal in Europe, in the UK as well, then we might actually be able to skip that whole scenario and waste money on our own broadcaster in that region. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Either way, it's going to be pretty interesting. The stream is going to be ending now, guys. I want to say thank you to all you guys in the chat for interacting. Really do appreciate it. And of course, the 2 new followers tonight. Appreciate you following the stream. Yeah. Thank you for watching, guys. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you give the video a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. But also, come over to the Twitch channel and give the Twitch channel a follow. Link for that will be in the description down below. And apart from that, as always, guys, take it easy. And I'll see you next time.